Hi, Aries. Welcome to Earth Wisdom Fire Tarot. This is going to be your 2020 forecast. If you're coming from my old channel, then I did this in 2019 and people really loved their personal versions of this. So, if you're interested in getting your personal 2020 forecast, you can find all that information down below. Or you can just go to earthwisdomfire.com and sign up there. So, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about these cards. I already pulled some cards in advance because I wanted to kind of like really deeply meditate on these cards. It's a really potent deck. It's called the Tantric Dakini Oracle. And the first card out was the Recall Memory card, number 50. So this is about, you know, looking back and kind of hearing the wisdom and the messages from your past experiences and using your memories to problem solve in the present. And then you have the chameleon, which is all about adaptability and kind of blending in. So where have you sort of compromised, your own uniqueness, your own individuality in order to fit in or in order to conform or kind of go with the crowd? And I feel like whatever reason you had or whatever reason you may have in 2020 for kind of exploring this energy, I feel like it is uncomfortable and it is, based out of some sort of fear. So working through that, and again, just being in a state of reflection is really going to help you understand what your real true gifts are and what your contribution is to the collective. Then you have survival, which is really about doing what you need to do in order to survive. And all three of these cards kind of speak to necessity, doing things out of necessity, like kind of being backed into some sort of really intense corner here. And I feel like this is really, you know, it's a function of ignoring, the um the key lessons that come from your past experiences. And what I mean by ignoring is, if you're just focused on survival, you're just kind of focused on the day-to-day grind, the day-to-day struggle, there isn't enough room here for introspection and really being able to learn from those lessons and move on quickly. So when it comes to 2020, I feel like there are going to be some challenges, there are going to be some tests that really help you understand who you are and what you really want to contribute. It's really about service. It's really about, what you have to offer and not closing yourself off or hiding yourself away or making any kind of excuses for, why you're not taking any risks or doing something daring, which is what Aries energy is about. So I get the sense that 2019 was really difficult. There was a lot of change that you had to cope with, and you did your absolute best. And I feel like the universe definitely recognizes that and is setting you up for a 2020 where, there can be a lot of like physical evidence that you're on the right path, like physical, tangible clues and, you know, um, breadcrumbs, for you to follow to make sure that you're on the right path. Um, so I think that's going to be good. I think there's going to be less of a sort of guessing game or feeling, you know, uh, lost. I feel like there's going to be a lot of clarity that comes from these moments where you allow yourself to be in that introspective space. So let's look at what you're leaving behind in 2019, or what you should be leaving behind in 2019. Not easy letting go. So the bottom of the deck right now is the Moon card. So it feels like 2019 was a lot about um, keying into your intuition. Like it feels like there was a lot of stuff going on for you internally. You're maybe kind of closed off from the world, and you kind of had to go within and kind of disconnect. So I feel like there may have been, some possibly some friendships, that were cut off because you weren't communicating, or you weren't, able to fully express yourself, or you just felt like you needed to kind of protect your heart from somebody or from the world in general. And you have the 8 of Wands. So I feel like there was just a lot thrown at you, good and bad. Honestly, I feel like it was just a year of a lot of stuff happening, and that's why you're kind of in this adaptation energy. And that's sort of like, I think, a gift, like there was so much that was thrown at you. Like you're very adaptable now, more so than you've ever been. And with the Daughter of Wands, I feel like there was also this creativity that was awakened in you, and you took some risks, and you did actually go outside of your comfort zone and try some new things. But I feel like you just kind of took some baby steps. And I think that you did kind of play it a little safe. You kind of kept things, somewhat within your realm of like possibilities. Like I think that you're trying to be a bit realistic. So you were, taking baby steps or taking small steps towards, embracing, again, it keeps coming up, like your gifts, embracing like your creativity or what it is you're meant to express to the world, like what your offering is. And I feel like in 2020 you're definitely going to be building off of that, and you just kind of have to keep this Moon card in mind here, because the Moon energy, there's a lot that happened for you in 2019 that you may not consciously be aware of. There's a lot going on for you subconsciously. The people around you, I think, were dealing with a lot of subconscious stuff as well. But like I said, 2020 feels like it's going to be a lot more stuff coming to the surface, like being very direct and being very tangible and understandable, like on a physical level. It's not going to be as murky or, as internalized. So let's see what's going on in 2020, in the earlier part of the year. Okay, so bottom of the deck is the Star. So, that's really beautiful. The Star is definitely healing. It's, hope and faith. So if it's been really rough for you, like if this 8 of Wands was like a lot of stuff being thrown at you, and you're just kind of like closing yourself off because there was just so much going on, I feel like things are going to calm down. You are going to know peace. And actually you have all major arcana in the beginning of the year. So I do think it's going to be pretty big. It's going to, I'm getting chills all over my body as I say that. So temperance for me means peace. It means transmutation. So transmuting very difficult negative emotions, dealing with negativity from other people will come kind of naturally to you, and things won't really get to you as much. And I think that you're going to be very, very connected to your higher self, to your guides, to God, and you're going to feel this sense of inevitability when it comes to change. You have the Wheel of Fortune, so I feel like you're definitely closing out a really intense cycle here, and you're coming out on top. You're coming out, the other side in a much more peaceful place. Like you can see here, like the figure on top is meditating, and is very calm. And then that's the energy that I get from this. It's like it's just a lot of acceptance that there's something beyond you, and that's what this Moon energy was kind of activating in you. You weren't like consciously aware of all of it, but I think in this early part of the year you don't need to know. Like you just kind of are accepting that there are things happening beyond your knowledge, beyond your control, and you're floating. You're just like kind of sinking into it and enjoying it. And from that space, you're actually getting a lot of confirmation that you are able to have a new beginning and to put yourself out there and try something new. So the Magician card, I feel like, is you really realize that you have a lot of tools, that you have a lot already in place for you to use in order to create something. So this little spark of inspiration that you had last year, this Daughter of Wands, it feels like the earlier part of this year is giving you the motivation, or things are getting sort of shifted in your life behind the scenes, so that you're in the right place at the right time to take action and to move on something that you want to move on. This is very exciting for you because um, it feels like there was just so much happening to you that you weren't able to really, put yourself out there, put your stamp on something, create something that's all your own. It feels like this early part of 2019, you're able to sort of, in a very peaceful, calm way, plan for what it is that you want to create. It's beautiful. I'm looking at the later part of the year now. Ooh. Loving it. Okay. So the bottom of the deck right now is the Six of Cups. So I feel like a lot of things are just really going to be coming together for you. It's going to feel a lot more harmonious. It's going to feel a lot more comfortable than 2019 felt. And I feel like the early part of the year, you're really building up a lot of momentum. And the last part of the year, you're really enjoying it. So this Supreme is you really being on top of the world, like being really in tune with your higher self. Like this is you really embodying your higher self, which is very, very important for, channeling your gifts and, feeling like you're part of a community, or you're part of the collective, and you're contributing something. Because in this card, you can see the Two of Cups, which is like emotional, heart-based connection, and you have the Three of Pentacles, which is about working with others, like collaborating. And of course, you also have the Wand and the Sword there, but it feels like you're really using um, your gifts to help others, to be with others, to commune with them. This is not about you individually. Like you're using your magician energy to contribute something to the whole, which is really, really beautiful. Then you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is about, really on a health level. I think that things are going to really look up for you. You're going to be really focused on your own needs. You're going to be listening to your body. You're going to be really in touch with what your body is craving nutrition wise, getting enough sunlight, getting enough fresh air, getting in nature. You're going to be nurturing yourself on a lot of levels. And I am getting a lot of like pentacle-y energy from this reading, which is really cool for you since you're a fire sign. It feels like your fire has somewhere to go, has somewhere to live. Like there's like this homey energy here. And this Nine of Pentacles is you really like feeling at home in your skin, feeling at home in your environment, feeling like you're in the right place. And that's really beautiful. Then you have the God of Pentacles, which means that you're gonna have, I think that your wealth, your abundance is going to grow, and you're gonna feel like you're an active participant in that process of creating wealth and building it. I just feel like there's a lot of momentum here towards like something physical and tangible and beautiful coming into your life here. And with the Empress, that's a lot of like more earthy energy. This is Taurus energy. I feel like whatever you want to birth into reality, like you're gonna feel just just really like powerful, like you're so powerful that you can create anything, you can create new life. So I'm seeing this trend here from like the Daughter of Wands, to the Magician, to the Empress. It's like a really powerful, can't put all these together in the right order because it's like backwards on my screen. Okay, so I feel like a really amazing transition that's happening here, going from the Daughter of Wands to the Magician to the Empress. It's like um you're forging a new path that's all your own, and it's a lot about creativity, and in order to create, you're really working with the universe, based on your destiny. This Wheel of Fortune energy means that this has always been cooking behind the scenes. It's like whatever was happening in your reality, like you couldn't have the full picture anyway. You didn't need to have the full picture, but you dealt with it beautifully. Like for you to get to this point of ending the year, with this Empress energy, I mean, that's incredibly beautiful. That means that you're really at this place of, um, loving yourself, like self-love, self-nurturing, caring, and having so much abundance within that you have it to share, with others. So you're building it in a very tangible way, with the God of Pentacles. You're physically, very healthy. And then whatever it is you want to create, whatever new beginning, you have all the tools with the Magician, to make that happen. So really, really loving this reading. So I'm also going to pull some cards looking at love because we love love here. Wow. Very, very cool. Wow. Beautiful. So the bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. Wow. I feel like, this is a year of successful, healthy relationships. You already got the Six of Cups, and now you have the Six of Wands. These both speak to harmony, when they're relating to relationships or anything really. And wow, you have a lot of sixes here actually, which is really cool. I feel like with the Hangman, you're probably coming out of a cycle where you were dealing with a lot of control issues, and this Hangman is saying that in 2020 you have this fresh start where you're kind of surrendering to whatever needs to happen in your relationship or in your life in general. There's just like this heavy surrender here. And if there's also been some sort of like power struggle, I feel like you're kind of deciding to be the bigger person, and instead of being right, or instead of you know like imposing your will on this other person or on the relationship itself, you're surrendering to um whatever the relationship needs to be. This could be for multiple relationships in your life, but I do feel like this is a very significant love relationship. It's one where you kind of built up a lot of responsibilities together. So you may have children, or you may own something together, or you just may have known each other for a long time and built up a lot of baggage over time. But this Ten of Wands is an opportunity for you to really release and let go of a lot of that baggage and really truly heal. Like I said, with your overall cards for the beginning of the year, you are going to have a lot of opportunities to heal and to really surrender, and to feel in tune with what's right, what's meant for you, and not necessarily what your ego is trying to tell you is right for you. So with the Lover's card, another six, I feel like you're really choosing the path of least resistance, and you are coming into this amazing union. It could be an inner union that manifests as an external union, but the Lover's card is a very, very, very good sign that something beautiful is manifesting, when it comes to relationships in your life, or the significant relationship. It does feel like this is a very significant divine partnership. It feels like it's meant to be, and it feels like it's very healthy. It's also a catalyst for spiritual growth. And with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like there is this element here of feeling like patient, waiting around for the right thing, and really trusting that as long as you've planted your seeds of intention and you're very clear on what it is you want and deserve, the real thing is going to come about. And I feel like if you're single right now, you are getting a lot of opportunities to prepare for this union, for this relationship, um, and it's definitely a spiritual catalyst. So even before you meet this person, a lot of stuff is going to be changing in your life, and you're going to be asked to really push hard to heal some childhood wounds, to release a lot of baggage that would prevent you from fully and deeply connecting with this new person, or with somebody that, if you're already in a relationship with somebody, this is a deepening of your connection. It's an extremely spiritual connection, and there's a lot of growth potential here. You're gonna see a lot of change and growth between both of you, or individually, and then in your own relationship. But instead of growing apart, I think it's going to bring you a lot closer together. You have the last card as the sun, so there's a lot of truth, there's a lot of honesty and transparency. It's very important if you're in any kind of situation where there was dishonesty or you felt like you couldn't fully show up as yourself in the connection. You're getting the opportunity to do that this year, and that's what makes this relationship so healthy, is that there's so much honesty and vulnerability and transparency. So if that's been missing for you in past relationships, or in this relationship that's continuing into this year, that's the major shift here. Like, that's what all of this is for. And getting to that place is, it's going to make you feel much more secure and much happier in the connection, because you were kind of working through some childhood wounds together, I think, and there was definitely some triggering going on. If this is an existing relationship, if this is a new relationship, you've dealt with this in past relationships, and there was a lack of security, there was a lack of feeling like you could be yourself. So you might have put on a mask, or you might have had some sort of facade, as a way to protect yourself, protect your heart. So moving forward, there's not going to be any fear of that anymore, because you're going to get very, very real with each other. Beautiful. So we have gratitude and appreciation. So that goes along with what I was talking about, like being really introspective and really getting to know who you are on an internal level. When you can really truly know yourself, you can thank yourself for going through all those lessons and just showing up, having a lot of compassion for yourself in the process is going to be really, really important. And showing gratitude externally as well, like thanking the people in your life, for being there, and getting really clear about who you want to be in your life in 2020, and being grateful for the people that are there is going to be extremely important. Following your heart, be true to your heart always. This is a core lesson that didn't even really come up in this reading much, because I feel like that's something maybe that you've already mastered, but if you haven't, you're going to get many many opportunities to do that, because everything that I'm seeing in this reading is almost like predicated on you like listening to your heart and following your intuition, and choosing to align to that and not resisting the pull of your heart. I'm not feeling a lot of resistance on that level. Then you have be your best self always. So this is about, like I said, really showing up in the world as who you are. And you can't really truly be your best self unless, you're being true to who you are, and you're being honest, and you're like, you know, being transparent. Um, I feel like this is about really trusting yourself as well. I'm getting that message, like really trusting what your heart's telling you, trusting your higher self, being grateful for the wisdom that comes from you know, the introspection, the time that you have to spend alone, being grateful for the lessons that are coming into your life, even when they're difficult, even when there's conflict. And just doing the right thing is so easy when you're in touch with what your heart is telling you. Your heart would not lead you astray. But your ego can sort of, you know, do things out of a sense of like needing protection, which I feel like a lot of that armor is really being dismantled. That's what those first three cards from the Oracle deck were really talking about, was like you were forced to sort of, you're backed into a corner in certain ways, and you didn't like yourself in that space. So you are freeing yourself from needing to adapt or to conform or to hide yourself away just in order to survive or just to protect yourself. There's this opening up of your energy that's happening, which is really beautiful. Okay. So bottom of the deck is personal power. So this is feeling really empowered again to be yourself and to you know, assert um your confidence, or just like to be confident in who you are. This, we have another 6 here, another balance card. That's really, really beautiful. I feel like you're gonna be seeing, I feel like, you know, especially if you've been working a lot on yourself and on your energy and coming into that inner union, you're gonna see it manifest in your life in a very tangible way. This is a root chakra card. You have another one too, holistic health. And I was talking about health earlier. So the way that, you know, you're achieving this health and the way you're focusing on it is through holistic means. So that means natural. That means like looking at your system as a whole and not necessarily trying to just mask symptoms or go the route of covering up, you know, the pain or just dulling the pain. This is about getting to root causes. And this is on a physical level, but also on an emotional and like spiritual level as well. It's very important. Then you have love. So beautiful. So I feel like this is going to be a year where your heart is just extremely full, where you feel loved and you can give love very freely. It's like an even exchange that happens effortlessly in your friendships and your relationships with family and work. It just feels like a lot of things are flowing for you. And the reason why you're able to get to that place is through um, you know, conquering the conflict head on. Like you're not avoiding any difficult lessons or difficult energies here. You're taking all of that head on because of all the introspection that we were talked about already. I'll just read this. So your lesson, you know, the biggest one is around patience, or this is like kind of your advice. So I feel like this is a really important message. It has a 2 and a 5 here. So a lot of where you're going to be tested this year is going to be in relationships and in you know, the mirroring dynamic that happens in your reality. So being patient when it comes to change, when it comes to the changes that you, the specific changes that you want to occur to happen, um, that you want to happen, is really truly going to pay off. And I know that's difficult for you as an Aries to, you know, be patient. It's not like something that comes naturally, you know, maybe to your energy, but it is something that you can master. And once you do, a lot of doors open up for you. It's really, really beautiful. I'm going to read this from the book too. I always love these messages. They're always so good. Okay. Patience is surrendering to the now and allowing destiny to unfold at its own pace. If this card has come to you, slow down and enjoy the presence of this moment. Although you may have the passion and drive to reach for the moon, you're being asked to take things slower and feel the magic of each step. Each step holds lessons that bring you closer to the divine in you. By being too hasty with an attitude of needing your dreams and goals yesterday, you will miss vital life changing moments that are meant to enhance, enrich, and transform your soul. When you overlook or dismiss the lessons of each step and race frantically towards your goals, the end result may not always be as you had planned. You may get what you worked for only to lose it as a result of challenging, unforeseen obstacles. Now that you have attained what you desired, the next step involves striving to keep it. If the lesson in each step was overlooked, the emotional challenges of maintaining this desire can be draining and emotionally overwhelming. Each step brings you lessons such as strength, wisdom, compassion, understanding, and patience, which allow your soul to grow. When these empowering life lessons are missed, you are not equipped to stand strong in the face of adversity. Slow down and let nature's cycles take their course. Trust in divine timing. Take each step one at a time and embrace the beautiful opportunities and gifts of understanding that come your way. This is about just being really in tune with what the journey is teaching you in every moment. It's about not rushing to conclusions. It's about not living 100% in the past. It's about learning your lessons as you go. So that's really important. And I feel like you're going to have an amazing year. So I hope this helped. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal version of this reading, let me know. You can find all the info down below. I love you. Bye.